Have you ever walked into the gym and you just felt like everyone and their mom was staring at you? Have you ever pretended to scroll through your phone as you're walking past a huge crowd of people? Have you ever felt that pit in your stomach right before a job interview or a big test that you know you prepared and studied for? Well, same girly, okay? These are all things that I have personally gone through. I used to have anxiety to the point where it would literally impact my everyday life. Fast forward to now, and I am living in my dream apartment, achieving all of the goals that I put on my vision board, and I've become unrecognizable to my past self. So if I can do it, I promise you can do it too. In this video, I'm gonna be sharing quick but effective healthy tips to help you beat anxiety, reduce your stress, and develop the confidence that you need to achieve any of your goals. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Lena. I have a self-help series here on my channel where we discuss all things becoming your best self. So if you're not subscribed already,
what are you doing?
Okay,
what are you doing?
Go subscribe right now. So first things first, conquer your fear. If you don't know, anxiety actually stems from fear. Fear of failure, fear of being seen, fear of the unknown. The list goes on. And fear is not necessarily a bad thing. I used to think that fear was like the enemy, okay? But no, fear is actually a part of our biology. It's the mechanism that helps us survive. Like, fear is important, we need her. But we just need to be the boss of fear, not let fear boss us around. So to not feel anxious, you have to control your fear. And how do you overcome fear? You break her down. I used to be a chronic overthinker, okay? My brain will legit think of the worst case scenario for anything. Oh, if I go to the gym, everyone's gonna be staring at me. Oh, if I start talking to that girl, she's gonna think I'm weird and not wanna be friends with me. Oh, if I sit and eat lunch by myself, everyone's gonna think I'm a loser, etc., etc. So this is when you need to use the 3-question test. This is actually from John Acuff. He's an author, and he recommends that as soon as you start to feel fear in your head, those anxious thoughts creeping into your brain, you wanna immediately ask yourself these 3 questions. First, is it true? Second, is it helpful? Third, is it kind? So for example, let's say I want to walk into the gym and get a workout in. My deep-rooted fear is that everyone is going to be staring at me. Is it true? No. You know why? Because I don't stare at every single person that walks into the gym. So why would anyone else care to stop their workout just to stare at me with judgment? Like, people are usually too focused on their workout and themselves, looking at themselves in the mirror, to even notice you at the gym. Is it helpful? Not really. I'm sitting here in my car outside the gym for a whole hour trying to muster up the courage to walk in because I'm so scared. Like, I probably would have been done with my workout by now if I just got the courage to walk in and ignored my fear and anxiety. Is it kind? No. My fear of walking into the gym and having people stare at me and judge me literally comes from me being insecure about myself. And that is not being kind to myself. At the end of the day, going to the gym is you trying to better yourself, improve your physical and mental health. Why am I letting my anxiety get in the way? You know what I'm saying? So literally every time you start to feel anxious, ask yourself those 3 questions, and you're gonna begin to realize what I realized. It's that our brains like to play mind games with us. And it does that because your brain is putting yourself in survival mode. That's why you feel fear, even in a place where you don't need to feel it. Like, when you start to ask yourself those questions and really break it down, you realize that it's really not that deep. So if you're feeling anxious right now about anything, your exam for school, the future of your career, starting your fitness journey, what your friends think about you starting to post on social media, whatever it is, I want you to answer these 3 questions and comment it down below. Check the comments. I read all of my comments, and I promise you, you will realize too that whatever it is you're anxious about is really not that deep. So this actually leads me to my next point, which is follow the then what rule. So I actually learned this from one of my favorite self-help books called Badass Habits by Jen Sincero. Highly recommend. That book is chef's kiss. Basically, the then what rule helps you to break down your fear to the smallest itty bitty thing. And then you'll realize how small it is and wonder why you were even so stressed about it in the first place. Okay, so let's paint a scenario, okay? Let's say you have anxiety about going on a first date with someone that your friend set you up with. It's an hour before the date, you're starting to feel anxious, you don't really want to go, you think you want to cancel. So ask yourself, then what? You will either click with your date or not. Then what? If you like them, you might go on a second date, get to know each other more. Or if you don't click, you're going to feel proud of yourself for putting yourself out there. Also, why are you so worried about if they're going to like you? Do you even like them? Then what? You can either continue to get to know this person, or you will know for sure that this person is not meant for you, and you will no longer be feeling this pit of anxiety of whether this person is going to like you or not. Then what? Then you can either have a potentially amazing, beautiful relationship, or you never go on a date with this person again and probably never speak to them again. And then eventually you'll probably go on a date with somebody else and forget that other person even exists. Life moves on, and it's really not that deep. I'm telling you, the then what rule really works. Whenever I'm anxious or stressed out about something, when I start using that rule and just breaking down my fear into like the smallest thing, I realize that, girl, it's really not that serious, okay? What were you stressed out about, bro? Like, you know? The physiological sigh. This I actually heard from a podcast by the neurologist Andrew Huberman.
There's a pattern of breathing called the physiological sigh that involves 2 inhales followed by a long exhale. It goes like this. Just 1 to 3 of those physiological sighs can bring you from a state of intense anxiety and stress to very, very calm.
So if you find yourself in a moment where you just feel super anxious, you're starting to overthink, get overwhelmed, literally follow this exercise and I promise you will feel so much better. Basically, it's 1 deep inhale in through your nose, so, and then 1 short inhale to top up, so, and then 1 long exhale to empty your lungs, so. It's super dramatic and it looks kind of silly, but you feel so much better. Like, try it out right now. It feels so good. Listen, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the science behind it, okay? Let the doctor explain all that, but I'm telling you, once I started implementing this, just through my everyday life, whenever I start to feel anxious, whenever I notice I'm overthinking and the intrusive thoughts just come out of nowhere, when I start doing this breathing exercise, I feel so much better. And it kind of just puts me in the present moment and realize, yo, these anxious thoughts, they are not me, okay? And I have control over my fear. Follow the 5-second rule. So this 5-second rule by Mel Robbins will help you break that cycle of anxiety and change your stress habits by literally just counting down from 5. So first step, you want to first notice your anxiety. So as soon as you start to feel anxious, nervous about something, maybe you're anxious about taking your test, talking in front of a huge group, trying something new, literally all you do is count down from 5. Counting down from 5 helps distract your mind from those anxious thoughts that you're having in that moment. And as soon as you finish counting down and get to 1, immediately take action or change your focus. So it could be standing up, starting to do your homework, talking to a friend, or taking a deep breath, doing that breathing exercise. The key is basically to do something quickly before your brain tries to talk you out of it. So if you struggle with anxiety, you know that negative loop of like anxious thoughts in your head, it just feels like it keeps going and going and just gets worse with time. So that's why this method actually really helps, counting down, because it really just distracts your mind from digging yourself deeper and deeper into your anxiety. Like, it stops it immediately. And by taking action, taking that first step, you actually gain confidence, and it's gonna make it easier to help you continue with your day, continue working. So for example, let's say you have a huge essay due tonight and you're sitting down at your desk and you start to feel anxious. Like, oh, how am I gonna even start this? Am I gonna finish by the time it's due? Oh, I should have started this a week ago instead of leaving it to last minute. Recognize that you feel anxious and stop the thoughts and immediately count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as soon as you get to 1, literally just start typing whatever is on your mind. It doesn't even have to be good. As long as you are taking action, that first step, that is what's important. Unload your thoughts. So I kind of like to think of my brain as like a balloon, right? There's only so many thoughts and worries and things I have to think about, things to do that can take up space in my brain before she explodes. And then when you fill your brain with too many thoughts, when something happens or you're put in a really anxious situation, you wonder why you feel super anxious. You might feel that pit in your stomach. Maybe you start to sweat. Your heart feels like it's racing. You can't really think straight. Like, that feeling is not fun, okay? It is not fun. So when you don't take the time to release the thoughts that are burdening your brain is a balloon and she is at full capacity at all times. And when you unload your thoughts, you actually physically feel lighter. So you wanna unload your thoughts by storing them literally anywhere else other than your brain. So you can talk and vent to your friends. You can speak to a therapist. And if you don't have access to either, you can literally record yourself on your phone venting to yourself, like as if you're on FaceTime with yourself. I've actually done this many times. Like, I have a whole library on my phone of videos of me just literally venting and talking to myself. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's some videos of me on my phone, very incriminating evidence where I'm just bawling my eyes out. And you can make fun of me all you want, but I'm telling you, I always felt so much better after doing that because I wasn't bottled up with all my emotions and thoughts and anxiety and anxious feelings inside, you know? Another amazing but easy way to do this is actually journaling. Like, unloading all of your thoughts from your brain onto paper, it helps so much. Like, when I tell you that daily journaling has genuinely changed my life, I mean it, okay? It had a huge impact on improving my mental health. And if you're not properly unloading your thoughts, you are kind of just setting yourself up to feel anxious at any time. Journaling is so effective in making you just feel so much lighter and gives your brain so much more space to think more about priorities instead of your anxious overthinking thoughts. I also love to look back on my old journal entries to see how much I've grown, you know? And if you don't know how to start journaling or you're looking for the perfect journal to unload your thoughts, don't worry, I got you. I highly recommend this baby right here, the Day by Day journal. This is actually my own journal that, yes, I created. I've been working on this baby nonstop for the past year, and I basically wanted to create the perfect journal that's super easy and simple to fill out every day and also helps you become closer to your best self every day. I made sure to add daily wellness check-ins that are super simple and fast to fill out, and also free write space to write down whatever your little heart desires. And girl, have you ever tried journaling and you open up your journal and you're just staring at a blank page for literally 30 minutes because you have no idea what to write? Yeah, same. That is why I added example prompts. So if you have no idea what to write about, you could answer any of the prompt questions. So no more staring at a blank page of your journal wondering what the heck to write. So there are limited journals, and I want all of you who want one to get one. So I'm gonna have the link in my description for you to secure your journal. And yeah, whether it's my journal or another one, it literally doesn't matter. As long as you're putting your thoughts onto paper, you will see a massive difference in your anxiety. Visualize success. So this is so underrated, but literally visualizing you being successful and overcoming whatever it is that you're feeling anxious about will actually help you overcome anxiety. So actually, a lot of boxers do this before they have a huge fight. They literally visualize themselves winning the fight, how it's gonna go. There's actually a really famous quote by Muhammad Ali, which I love. He says, "To be a great champion, you must believe that you are the best. If you're not, pretend that you are. I am the greatest." I said that to myself even before I knew I was. And this is so true, you guys. Like, anything I've achieved in my life thus far, it's truly because I envisioned it happening before it actually did. For example, right? Before starting my YouTube channel, I was literally so anxious, okay? I was anxious about failing miserably, people making fun of me, being a disappointment. But then I literally started to visualize myself being a successful YouTuber, hitting 100,000 subscribers, even though I was literally at like 5 subscribers at the time, editing really good videos, even though I had no idea how to edit at that time. So I literally pictured my success until it literally felt like it was going to be reality. Even this apartment, right? My Pinterest board, you guys, has so many pictures of apartments that look literally just like this. I made Pinterest boards, I had it all over my vision boards, and I created those quite literally when I had $10 to my name. Still living with my parents, a broke college student with debt, even getting into my dream college, NYU. I'm gonna be honest, my grades in high school were not the best. I also didn't have a ton of extracurriculars, but even with all that and feeling so much doubt, I visited the school and pictured myself going to class, walking around campus, being an NYU student. And another example to prove to you that this actually works is my boyfriend recently used this visualization method for an interview for a job that he really wanted. And he told me right before his interview, he felt so anxious, but then he stopped himself and started to envision the interview going super well, him speaking super clearly and answering all the questions with confidence. And guess what? That is exactly what happened. So if you're in an anxious situation, think about what a successful outcome looks like to you and truly just envision it actually happening. Detach from approval. Listen to this, okay? Read my lips. Caring about what other people think will cost you the most authentic life that you could have lived. I don't know about you, but for me, every single time I valued other people's opinion of me above my own opinion of myself and what I actually wanted, I was always holding myself back from blessings that were on the other side, that were meant for me. I was also always so much more miserable, constantly trying to appease other people, getting them to like me, getting them to approve of me, instead of doing what I actually wanted to do. So literally, to hell with other people's opinion, okay? Honestly, YouTube has taught me so much of this. As someone who was so scared of people finding her channel that I literally didn't tell a single person that I started a YouTube channel, in order to actually be successful with YouTube, I had to detach from people's approval. Also, you will be surprised at how much filming yourself in public with a massive camera will teach you how to not give a shit about what other people think. You do you, okay? Seeking approval from other people will only have people who don't matter approving of someone you actually aren't. So ask yourself, would you rather jump through hoops and make every little decision to make all other people like and approve of you? Or would you rather jump through hoops and make decisions for yourself? So yeah, I really hope this video was helpful. If you struggle with anxiety, I promise you that you are not alone. And if you actually have any other tips for overcoming anxiety, I want you to leave it in the comments down below so that you can share your knowledge with our little fam, our little community, because we do not gatekeep over here on this channel. If you're a real one, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I love you guys so much, and I hope to catch you in my next video. Bye guys.
Taking a ride to Jonah Lake 눈치 보면서 들어가 할 때 찾아